Hi there, everybody. How's it going? Today I have Jon Gillespie-Brown, the founder and CEO of Nalpeiron. Thank you, John, for joining us today.
A pleasure as always.
We are going to be diving into a juicy topic today, and that is what is keeping SaaS CEOs up at night? What is the pain that B2B SaaS CEOs are constantly thinking about, and specifically, John is a B2B SaaS CEO of a company for over 20 years now. So he will be the perfect candidate to answer this question for us. So thank you, John. Go for it.
Not a problem. I think we could probably break this into quite a few things. A lot of things keep the SaaS CEO up at night, but I think if we rank them, we'll start with number one, which is probably for the majority of us, how do we continuously grow our business? And that breaks down into a couple of things, particularly as we're a B2B SaaS company. In recent times, it's been a lot about maintaining and growing the existing customer base. That has been a focus for us. We have a lot of enterprise clients, so a big focus is growth through NRR rather than brand new clients. But that would be the second part, of course, is new business through brand new business. And how do we stay competitive? And I think more obviously, in addition to those big questions, it's more a question of all of the recent big changes in AI and how do they impact both of those things and how do they, in general, affect our competitiveness in the marketplace. Those are the things. I can dive into each of those as you wish.
Yeah, certainly. So just to summarize, number one is going to be the growth of the company. And that's a mixture of new business growth and existing account growth. And essentially, number two is how AI is going to impact those two departments. So, yeah, if you'd like to, please dive into it and let's hear your thoughts.
Sure. There's a long list of other things, by the way. So if there's any other CEOs looking at this, they'll be like, my list is way longer. I promise you, there's a hell of a lot more, obviously, to do with running a business and all the staffing and finance issues and operational and many other things. But I think the absolute pinnacle is the things we're talking about here. So let's focus on those for a second. I think AI kind of goes across both of these particular areas of growth. And as you know, now Nalpeiron is a growth platform. So interestingly, we get not only our own feedback, but we get feedback from all our clients as well, because we serve other SaaS companies like us. So we get sort of a double benefit here, and we can see what they're worried about, as well as obviously understanding our own business and what we're concerned about. So diving in then, let's just talk about new business. I think new business in B2B SaaS has been very interesting in the last year. And clearly the lens is focusing more around capabilities related to AI. And it's not just adding AI to our products because that is in vogue. It is also the business models that AI are affecting. So what I mean by that is for many, many years, the standard B2B SaaS model has been a range of different methods of charging, but they're often orientated around additions based on the number of seats or perhaps a feature matrix. And they've not been hugely orientated around consumption or usage orientated metrics for a good deal of our customers, at least. Now, don't get me wrong, many of our customers do include a simple usage model, but I think AI is driving a lot of people, customer wise, to consider a much broader use of usage based billing as a component of the way that they want to buy. So the end user is a driver here of I would like to buy based on my usage alone versus this complex metrics of other things. I think the reality will be some kind of hybrid, but what that's really doing to the average SaaS CEO is meaning I now have to modify my business model. And how do I do that? And that then leads to quite a few other challenges which create 3 a.m. sweats. For example, it's very, very competitive out there right now. I have to innovate as a CEO. And now, on top of that, I have to innovate in my pricing and packaging as well. And the problem for most CEOs is they hard coded their business model. So again, what does that matter? Well, the problem with hard coding it is the engineering team is at the center of your business model. So not only the engineering team have to innovate, probably add AI features, they also have to fix the business model somehow inside your product. So, how much bandwidth have you got in engineering and how fast can you move? Speed and agility is everything. Your competitors are changing their business model to offer more usage-based orientated billing and packaging of your products. So you kind of have a double negative. I have to innovate quickly, add AI, add other capabilities. And also I now have to have the same team working on fixing my pricing and packaging because I have to innovate there too. And so that's what I mean by AI is kind of a double thing. It's like AI functionality in my product. That seems like in vogue. I need to be seen to be doing that. And also I need to be changing my pricing and packaging to be more competitive because also the driver of AI is forcing me to have to think about how I bill my customers effectively because they're demanding a different way to pay. And it took many, many years. We've been in business 20 years. It took probably 10 years for people to switch from a standard sort of all-in-one, perpetual license, we call it, a single payment and then maintenance, from that kind of business model to a subscription-based model. We've now got months to do a change that took years and years and years. Now we have to switch from a subscription-based model to maybe a hybrid usage-based model, or maybe a pure usage-based model, because the end customer is demanding this particular change. So that's the first thing. And that's a big thing. And that is affecting everyone, tens of thousands of SaaS companies and traditional software companies too, although they're less impacted because their business models are a little bit older fashioned. And again, we sell to SaaS companies, on-prem companies, IoT companies. So we see everything in terms of business models. So that's what people are asking us about. That's what's keeping me awake. Why? Because I have the same issue, although I don't have the same problem. So for example, we have launched new products, we have innovated, and we have added AI in our products, and we're adding a lot more functionality. But we use our own monetization system on our own products, which means that we've got some middleware in place where we don't need to talk to engineering. The product team can go in and make changes to pricing and packaging. They could do that over a weekend and they can launch it the following week. Very fast, very agile. So that part means I sweat less than my customers do. I think from the second point, NRR continuing to grow the existing customer base, I think this is where you need sales intelligence, right? A lot of NRR is driven by the CS team, and that team needs intelligence on what's happening, by which I mean, what is going on with each individual customer? Are they happy? Are they using the product? Are they getting value from the product? Are they, as a team, individually, are their users engaging more or less over time? Are they using the key features that are required for us to beat our competitors? Is activation of these key features happening in the appropriate point so that we prevent churn? All of that kind of data needs to be presented to the sales team such that they can remediate any issues. And then the second part of the puzzle is, how do we grow? How do we get them, our customers, to engage with new features or products or upgrade between various different parts of our price model, depending on how we go about monetizing? And again, where's the data, right? Are they starting to come up to if you have a seat limit, are they coming up to the seat limit? Are they actively using a range of functionality that means that we could upgrade them to the next level up? Are they not using certain features that mean that we could switch them to a different product? How does the sales team, I'm not talking about the product team here, I'm talking about the sales team. How does that CS team know what to do? How do they know when to grow an account? How do they know how to retain an account, prevent churn? That's all about data. So, from the perspective of these two areas, I think the key here is on the retention side is having information in the fingertips of the team such that they can make actions well in advance. They're not waiting for the JBR and hoping for the best. They're not sending generic emails. They are engaging with the customer about specific actions that need to be taken such that that can improve NRR, right? So we want to save accounts. We don't want to lose them. We don't want to lose any logos, and we want to grow the existing base. And of course, there's many other levers to improving NRR as well. But in essence, those are the discussions that we're having. Those are the thoughts that we have got. This is what we're talking to teams about, growth teams, CEOs, C-suite. This is how, in general, Nalpeiron helps our customers. We help in many, many other ways, but this is the focus for us, is to help C-suite, CEOs solve these scary problems that keep us all awake, including me. So I hope that helps. I think AI kind of cuts across all of this. For example, we use AI in our tools to help the sales team. We use AI not to replace the sales team, but to get rid of some of the busy work the sales team don't like doing, using AI quickly and efficiently such that they can focus. And of course, if they're focused and they have more time and they have the data at their fingertips, so we have a Zen product which does that, then they're more likely to grow business. NRR will grow due to having greater efficiency in the sales team. So that's my quick kind of view of how we handle growth. There are lots of other levers for growth, but I think these are the hot topics.
Well, that's amazing, John. Thank you very much for sharing your pain points that keep you up at night, and even a couple ways that you plan to tackle them and overcome them. So thank you very much for your time today, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Not a problem.